All right, so welcome to the Millionaires Book Club podcast, and we are your host. I am Tito J, and joining me today, as always, the man, the myth, the legend,
Uncle C, baby.
Uncle C. Yes, welcome, Uncle C, and of course, in the background, our recurring guest, Paring Sil. Paring Sil, W for chat. Paring Sil, W. Oh yeah, he is the silent type, folks. So yeah,
Man of few words. That is it.
But we'll hear from him in the course of this episode. So yeah, how's it going, Uncle?
All is well. All is well. So since this is our pilot episode, bro, why don't we introduce ourselves to our viewers? You first, by age.
Bruh.
No, let's not talk about
Give
our
a little
age.
background. Give a little background for our viewers, bro.
Yeah, that's a good question, man. Who am I? Who are we, really?
Make it quick, bro. Make it quick, bro. It's supposed to be a short introduction, bro.
Oh, God.
Yung philosophical naman.
You put me in this spot. I work here in the Philippines as a VA, and I am an aspiring entrepreneur, such as yourselves, our lovely audience. And how about you?
WVA.
WVA, yes. WVA for chat. Exactly.
So I am Uncle C. I am an OFW. I work in London here in clinical research, bro.
Right, so
let's get down to business. What are we talking about today, bro? Which book?
Exactly. So for our first episode, we are talking about Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Yeah, one of the OGs of the financial books. Ain't that right, Uncle?
Very, very interesting book, bro. Just a fact, bro. That's the first ever financial book I've read, bro. Because
Yeah.
I used to read like fiction novels, anything, especially cheap ones. You remember the shop named Book Sale in Cagayan de Oro, bro?
Yeah, they're
So
still
they
here,
use-
actually. They're still here.
Ah, okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
they used to sell like really cheap books, like fantasy novels for like 10 pesos, 15 pesos. Sounds like me being a curious mind. So I was like, let's buy some fantasy novels. So that's where my reading journey began, bro. So it's just like
Mm.
financial books really didn't interest me that much as I was growing, till I'm growing intellectually, I might
Yes.
add. Pero yeah, Rich Dad Poor Dad is the first financial book I've read, bro. What about you, bro? What's your background with that book of Robert Kiyosaki?
Yeah, that's right. So Rich Dad Poor Dad is actually probably one of my first financial books as well, growing up. So it was but it was I read it late in my 20s, I think. So
Same.
yeah, but I've read it multiple times in the past, but I just weren't able
Didn't
to
learn anything.
apply myself
Bruh.
until late or early in my 30s, I would say. But it's a good start, really. I think most
true.
of us is where we began our financial journey. Probably Rich Dad Poor Dad is a big part of that, right?
Bro, I like the way we converse, bro. It feels like we're just in a radio show or whatever. Parang Sil, do you have anything to add? Have you ever read this book? Or will you just be a wallflower for today's episode?
The perks of being a
By the way-
wallflower.
Wallflower, bro. Ba dili wildflower. Wallflower, no?
Yeah, I think it's a title of the movie. Yeah, I think it's Wallflower.
Movie man. Movie. fly in the wall na lang eh para mas kwan.
No, I think the fly in the wall route, it's too creepy, man.
By the way, guys, si Pareng Silt, he's a quiet one because he's very busy with feeding her cute daughter, Sadie girl. So, busy pa being a dad. Daddy
Yeah.
duties muna.
W for Sadie in chat. W for Sadie.
WW.
Do we even have a chat?
Trying hard mo, Gen Z.
Oh my.
Bro, let's get down to business, bro. Let's
Yeah.
talk about the book, bro.
Let's
What
go.
about-
Nag-message ako. Nara ko sa message. Mag-message.
Oh, he's in chat. Okay, let's pull up chat.
W chat.
This. Okay.
Are you done, Cuckoo?
No,
I
you're not,
invoke my right to be a wallflower.
no, you're not in chat. Hiring sale. Okay. But
All right, bro. What do you want to talk about, bro?
yeah, so probably first is let's start with what are our biggest takeaways from this book. So
Takeaways.
I read it. I think we in the lead up to this first episode we reread the book, right? So plenty of concepts just really surged back. And to you, what is one of
True.
your biggest takeaways from this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad?
Ooh, it has a lot of, well, I should say, maybe contradictions from what we got used to as a culture, like in the Philippines. It's always taboo to talk about money, as
That's true.
especially the dining table, or I guess it's like we have a culture of, if we have like a really financial, let's say for example financial problem, we tend to sweep it under the rug.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess my biggest takeaway for Rich Dad Poor Dad is that it doesn't shy away from telling us to face our financial problems and actually learn financial literacy, and face the truth that there's always like there's no happy ending sa real life, bro. So it's like if you're poor, then there's a reason why you're poor, and there's a reason why the other dad was rich, because it talks about two dads, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
a rich dad and a poor dad, and they grew up like different lifestyle, different mindset sa money, bro. So the way they view money, the other one views it differently than the other. But Robert, or the author, is trying to learn from both dads. Again, not saying that one dad is better than the other, because again,
Mhm.
circumstances can be different.
Right.
Lahi-lahi ang magbisaya ko.
Yeah, it's okay.
Iba-iba yung growing up, iba-iba yung circumstances natin. I mean, especially sa previous generation, compared to the previous generation, compared to today's generation, they do not have the same resources privy to them compared to us, where it's like tap of the fingers, resources, pak. So I guess that's one of my takeaways, that it's really financial literacy book basically. How about you, bro?
Yeah, actually, I like your take. Yeah, financial literacy.
you.
I think, growing up, no one really taught us, how to handle money. How do we have this relationship with money? So, it's just refreshing that the rich dad, he talks about money on, in the dinner table, like you said, and how money works. Because for us, it is not taught in schools. My parents rarely talk about. They fight about money, but they don't talk about how to earn money, or how to these concepts. Money working for you. It's such a foreign concept to us, and yeah.
And again, not our parents' fault. They're only,
Of course.
they're the information they have is limited to the information available to them at that time, di ba?
Yeah, I
It's
guess
up
we
to
are,
us now.
we're product of our generation, and I think their generation is the working bee type, right? So you just get up in the morning, you work hard, the job pays well, right? Because one
Yes,
income
sir.
household like 50 years ago, you could support a family of five, and
True.
that's enough. But now, like two income households, three income households, man, you can't even pay rent. I don't know where you
Okay.
are
How
in
can you have,
London.
bro? Wait a second, bro. How can you have a three-income household? You mean you'll have a mistress, and your mistress will still have to work for, for you to
No,
have a
Bruh.
three-income
no,
household?
three income.
Or can you elaborate, bro? I was confused by that statement. A three-income household. Bro,
No,
are you
like
saying to our viewers, bro, that they need to have to be in a polygamous relationship, bro, to survive? So,
nah. Don't
dili
clip
enough,
me.
bro.
Don't clip me, man. What I meant is that I have two jobs, right? I mean,
Ah,
wait. Am I violating my NDA? Wait a minute. So what I'm saying are there are people,
incriminate.
uh, there are people, bro. There are people that have three jobs,
Explain yourself.
as a VA or as with a different people have like multiple jobs right now. Here in the Philippines, in the U.S., probably in London as well. But you know, those three salaries are just not enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in this in
Mm-hmm.
this modern world with the rate of inflation and prices are always going up. So yeah, we just can't keep up. Our generation, but it's a good thing because, like you said, information is readily available. Resources, information,
No
learning,
excuse. There's
knowledge.
no excuse.
Yeah, if you're born poor and you die poor, then I think that's on you, man. That's on you. You just didn't
That's
work.
a quote, bro. You're copywriting a quote, bro.
I
I know,
paraphrased
but I
a
mean,
famous quote. I don't know who said that. So
but I feel for the poor dad though, because being a family man is tough, bro. Like
yeah,
if you're a husband and you're a dad or both, it's like if because financial literacy doesn't just come like snap of a finger. You have to really seek it. You have to be curious.
yep,
You have to learn it from scratch. So on top
exactly.
of being a family man, a husband, and a dad, it's like having two jobs. Or for example, take for example a working student. You have to work to pay your tuition fee. Plus, you have to be a student as well. So not only is you're working physically, you're also trying to learn mentally by being a student. So it, somehow it's like that for poor dad. So he chose to provide for his family. He doesn't care whether he lacks financial literacy, whether admits it or not. But for him, I guess from his point of view, I have to provide for my family, and this way is the surest way to provide for my family. Like I cannot risk anything because people look up to me to provide.
Yeah, and I guess I think what poor dad he comes from a place where job security, right? I think he fell into the trap of job security because that is what his father probably taught him, right? Like
True.
you get the good job, go to school, get high grades, so you could work for a decent company with good benefits, right? I think that's also what my parents taught me growing up, that go to school, work hard, and you'll have a high paying job and you'll be set for life. But oh boy, that is not the recipe for success
No,
in
no.
this financial climate, bro. It's far from it. I think it's gonna be tough, man. Working one job, having five kids, just gonna ain't gonna cut it in this
Ooh,
economy. Yeah.
having five kids, bro. Parang, oh, that is tough. Having two kids is already having a kid per se is already tough. Not that we have kids, so we can't really relate to being a dad. But firing Seal, I don't know if he'll come back to the stream or to the pod,
Hmm.
but it's really tough. Just having one kid, how much more? Five, diba? So previous generations.
Yeah, previous
And
generations.
also, yeah, and also, so from the rich dad pod na perspective pod, I think mas dako siya leeway. The book doesn't really explain Rich Dad's background thoroughly or
Yeah.
what, but I think he has a room for error compared to Poor Dad, where there's no room for error.
You
So
can't
I
make
think it's
mistakes,
part.
man.
Yeah,
Can't make
exactly.
financial mistakes because, you know, he has that one income, right? One income
Yeah,
stream.
yeah,
If you mess up, you can't eat.
and yeah, and it you always treat it as the biggest failure ever if you fail as a dad, or if you fail as a husband to provide for your family, diba? So I think as part of the reason why Poor Dad was the way he is in the book. But I think if if he only suspend disbelief, like if he only lowered, I guess ego is also part of the problem, because if
Mm,
he only lowered his ego and actually seek advice or mentorship from people, from successful people, I think it would have made a difference, bro. Because as a book, as far as I could remember, because I didn't really read it page cover to cover. I've read it years back.
yeah.
From what I could remember, bro, Poor Dad became grumpy because he tried to climb the ladder, the normal way, or the traditional way, climbing the so-called corporate ladder. He became like something teacher or like head, or I don't know what he became. And
Yeah, yeah.
then he ran. I think he ran. Did he run for office? As far as you could remember, I don't know, but he became grumpy, and I guess it comes with the age, because as you grow older, you always think, especially sa Filipinos, bro, sa atong Filipino culture, bro,
Yeah.
as you get old, you always feel like the younger generations can teach anything to you. It's like pride nimo ba, pride or ego nimo bitaw nga, if I seek help, it should be someone I respect, it should be someone older than me. But I guess, bro, it's not really that way anymore. Today you can actually learn a lot from even younger people younger than you.
Yeah.
So I think it's part of the cultural trait sa to Filipinos, bro.
Yeah, that's
What do
true.
you think?
We don't seek help, you know. I think um, it's also a detriment to our
Ah, detriment.
big words. Yeah. So that's the big one of that's a good point. That yeah, because he thinks himself he is a highly educated person, right? So he should know
Mm,
everything. But the thing
true.
is, he is he is educated in a very specific and niche, you know, field, and you know, financial literacy just just a very different field from what he have studied for 10 years,
True,
right?
true.
So yeah, I think people should, you know, first is they have to realize that, you know, financial literacy is really something that you have to learn, right, outside of your specialization.
Comfort zone.
Yeah, yeah, and I think, um, you know, if only poor dad had the open mind to learn about this stuff, then I think he would have been better off. But I think, you know, his education really stopped him from, you know,
Hmm. That's a
what's this,
that's a really
somehow.
good point, bro. Because I think put, like, if you're a college graduate, and then you try to get your master's degree, because you try to, especially here in London, if you have a master's degree, there's more chances to get into a higher position, so to speak, or
Hmm.
to help you climb the corporate ladder even higher. So I think it's also part of the problem, where if you think you have like two bachelor's degree, two master's degree, you already think that you know so much about so many things, is because of those titles, bro. Hey, I'm a master's degree holder. They have like titles, what's that? MN Masters or something.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then they think they can't learn anymore, or if
exactly,
they learn they need to go to school. Bay, even daggan nga ma-learn na wisdom even from a tambay. It's
exactly.
like nuggets of wisdom. You can get it from any walks of life by anyone, 'di ba? So if now I've heard like a, well, as far as I can remember, I think it was like a homily that if you want to be great, bro, you have to be a child again. You have to be curious. You have to be trusting. I guess what happened to poor dad is that he became less curious. He became distrusting. Like kinukontra niya yung system ba? Like um for example, if you're poor dad, or if you're a middle class, you always try to impose your beliefs in politics, in the government. I mean, yeah, it's cool to care for your country, I guess, but those things are beyond your control, bruh. Instead, you can focus towards yourself, self improvement first, financial literacy, and then maybe, just maybe, you can impact. If you're big enough, you can impact people around you, your community. Di ba? But it always starts with self-improvement, self-awareness, bro. I think that's what poor dad lacked.
Yeah,
What do you think?
exactly. Um, Also, I remember this quote from Socrates. So he said that the more he learns, the more he knows that he knows nothing. Right? I think I'm
Taro
paraphrasing,
nga,
but
taro nga, taro nga.
sorry.
Again, bro, again, bro. Again, bro.
So
Make it
I
clearer, bro. Clearer.
so yeah, I agree
Deep
with
breath.
that.
Deep breath.
So yeah,
Again, say the quote, bro. Say the quote for our listeners.
yeah, yeah. So I heard.
Okay, Socrates. What did Socrates say?
Yeah. So
You guys are
actually,
close.
very close. Yeah. Hundreds of years apart, but his
So,
wisdom still
so
res-
in his dying breath, bro, what did he say to you, bro?
not in his dying breath. In the scriptures that he wrote. That's blasphemy. But no, in all seriousness, so Socrates, he mentioned that the more I learn, the more I know. What is the quote? I have to look it
Bro,
up.
wait, let's just Google it, bro.
I googled the quote.
Paring Seal, do you know the quote, Socrates?
Ang quote sa akin ni Socrates is is hindi ko quote ko.
Isa ka pa, ya.
Ang version nito galing sa Chikusai. Can this be a sequel of my dying hope?
Thank you for that.
Much needed icebreaker.
Yeah, much needed time to research. So here is the quote. So Socrates, we're paraphrasing, but as for me, all I know is that I know nothing. And I think that should.
Here's another one, bro. I think this is the more accurate, bro. The more I know, the more I realize I know nothing.
Yes, that's the version that I'm looking for. But yeah, and I think we have to embody that, bro. So we humans, we are learning machines, man. And the moment that we stop learning and we stop caring about learning new things, I think that's where we stagnate, and where we
True.
stale, and we just fail at that point. So
True.
that's what poor dad. But going and yeah, we've been talking a lot of poor dad, but one of my biggest takeaway from rich dad is this. He said that the poor and the middle class, they buy assets. I mean, they buy liabilities that they think are assets, while the rich, boy oh boy, they buy assets. Income generating assets. And I am super guilty of this. Like when I started working up to my, up to my 30s even. And I am not ashamed of that because I think it's just something that many people struggle with. So we just, try to buy things that we think are assets. And, we buy things that I think would make us look rich, right? Because in society, I think keeping up with the Kardashians have become the norm, bro.
Jones. That's Jones, bro.
Yeah, but
That's
that's the
name of
old
the show,
version.
Keeping
That's
Up
the
with-
old
Ah,
version.
okay. All right, got
That-
it, got
we
it. So
live
it's Kardashian now.
We live in the Kardashian era, bro, of entertainment. They're everywhere, man. Even NBA players. I'm kidding. So, so yeah, we just, just keeping up in social media and all that stuff. So, I
True.
think that's really one of my biggest takeaway that just spend your money on assets that like real
Generating.
assets that would generate you income. So yeah. Any thoughts on that?
That's a really good takeaway from Rich Dad, bro. I guess my takeaway for Rich Dad is quite simple. It's really just, well, I'm just analyzing it in my own words. So basically, he teaches us that it takes money to make money. It's like you don't make money out of thin air, because remember in that book when Robert and Rich Dad's son, his best friend, they try to make money, di ba?
Literally.
So it's like no, it's that number one, that's illegal.
Yeah. It was a funny story though.
Yeah. But I guess you have to go back to when you were a kid, because that incident just goes to show the creativity of the minds of being a kid, di ba? So, but then again, you still have to have a mentor that will tell you na what you're doing is illegal, because I think that's why there's a lot of scammers nowadays, because due to the lack of mentorship, or talagang it's just the way they're built, just taking money. They want to make money the easy way, the shortcut,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Get rich quick.
But I guess
Get rich
yeah,
quick.
get rich quick, which admittedly I've been a part of a lot, and then I've learned from them as well.
Are you admitting
So I guess-
to a crime in this very
No.
podcast?
I will not incriminate myself, bro. I've been a victim.
Oh,
of
okay.
them.
I see.
But you live and you learn, di ba?
Exactly.
According to the song.
Yep.
Well, I guess that's my biggest takeaway for Rich Dad. It takes money to make money, so you have to be patient. You have to
Mhm.
understand that. Well, number one, you still have to prepare. You have to plan all that if you want to start investing. If you want to start a business, you have to prepare up to the last detail. But regardless of how you prepare, even if you think that you've prepared every single thing, even to the smallest of detail, you still have to factor in, you still have to understand that luck plays a factor. Risk and luck, those are non-negotiables. Those are something that is, you can say, beyond your control. You have to factor them into your equation, into your preparation. So yeah, I guess that's my takeaway for Rich Dad. So we've tackled the takeaways of the book. Let's go to our final thoughts, bro. Should we make this a segment or something? The final thought.
The final thoughts. Yeah.
So it's like a voiceover. The final thoughts. So next segment.
Exactly.
So we have like an intro, and then we'll have the takeaways, where we just give like a 10-minute takeaways. So the intro will be like 3-minute intros. Takeaways would be like 10 minutes. Although, obviously, ni-exceed na karon because this is our pilot anyway. That's fine, we can improve. But I think, is that a plan?
Yeah,
Like,
it could be.
intro.
I mean,
background,
this
little
podcast
background
would
about
be
the
like
book.
us. It will be ever evolving, bro. We will never stop learning.
Ever learning.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Never stop improving,
Yes,
man.
sir.
That's
Yes,
we
sir.
just don't. We never stop, man.
So, the final thought. What are your
Final-
final thoughts, bro?
Yeah, I think my final thoughts is I'll go back to what you said. You mentioned creativity, and I guess that's what we really lack as individual right now.
Mhm.
And I know if you've read that book or if you've read that article that schools take away our creativity. That there's a
Yes,
whole
sir.
book that was, or I believe it was a study that was
Three minutes.
catered
3 minutes.
to that.
Short
Right.
final thought.
Yeah. So, like I said, yeah, going back,
Babalik ka na naman sa...
creativity is very important in this day and age, especially if you want to make money, if you want to build your own business, and you really want to succeed in this life or in the next. So yeah, just channel that creativity, never lose it,
Yes,
because
sir.
that will be the fire that will guide you to success, I believe.
Stepping stone. Yes, sir.
W in chat.
Yes, sir. Very beautiful final thoughts, bro. My final thoughts would be just be curious, bro. Set aside your ego. There's always something to learn from all the walks of life, from all the people that you meet, bro. Set
Yeah.
aside your ego. And again, there's like a video, inspirational video that says, ego is the anesthesia that deadens the pain and stupidity. So
Like that.
if you di ba, bro? Okay, I'll say it again sa last part, because our listeners might have a relative or two they want those words to be said. So that was my final thoughts, bro. Be create, lessen your ego, always be curious, try and seek financial literacy. You have to seek it, you have to want to learn. Yeah, so again, ego is the anesthesia that deadens the pain of stupidity. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Firing Silk, do you
Yeah.
have any last
Beautiful.
thoughts, Firing Silk?
Beautiful, man. I love it. We can put that in our YouTube shorts. Yeah.
Shout out, true, shout out Rigsby, I think that was his name. He was like an inspirational speaker, bro. I always watch that video whenever I want to get inspired.
Yeah.
It was a very beautiful speech. Firing Silks, you still there? So I guess that is it for today's book review, only here in Barbara.
Yeah. Yeah, the
All right, go ahead. Now, there's final thoughts. You have a final thoughts.
what's the name of our podcast again? The
Millionaires book. Oh, come on, bro. Ikaw nag-name.
totally forgot. Yeah.
Dude,
Sorry
bro.
because it's our first episode, but yeah, this has been the Millionaires podcast. No, not this is the Millionaires Book Club.
Millionaires.
The Millionaires Book Club Pod. Always brought to you by.
Right, that is it. Millionaires Book Club podcast.
Oh wait, so our listeners could actually recommend a book, because they will be
True,
with
true.
us throughout our journey, our financial journey, building our business. We're very excited to share all the things that we've learned with you guys. So whatever your any book recommendations that you have, just put it in the comment section, email us,
Comsec.
chat with us. Yeah, and
Do you have an official email already?
not yet, but we'll make one soon.
Righty.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful,
Yes, sir.
beautiful.
That was good. Okay na no.
I love it,
Sige,
man.
hapon. Love it. Till, any thoughts? Thoughts.
I like your
Oh,
look,
wala
man.
kang
You
thoughts.
look like you're Morpheus from the Matrix.
Morpheus, baby.
Satoru Goju.
Mag-ubo daw, big. Igang kayo.
Ayaw ako sa i-stop ang recording. Kaya hurot na mong storage.